Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Loren LoRosa is here, and also Nyla is here as we introduce some legends, some icons in this game. Long Island's own De La Soul.
Yes,
Welcome,
yes,
brothers.
Peace, my brothers.
My voice is a little shaky. That's why I'm
no,
here.
that's good.
I had to make sure I was here for y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Peace, brother.
OG legendary, man.
How y'all feeling, man? New album, first album in 9 years.
Yeah.
In the sky.
Yeah. We feeling good, bro. We feeling really good, man.
It's a blessing to still be a part of the fabric, man.
Yeah.
That's all.
I always like to
Be a part of it.
You are the
Leave the fabric.
To be a part of the fabric.
Part of it? What? Come on, man.
When we have legendary groups like this, I like to start from the beginning for people that don't know and introduce them to. So how did De La Soul come together?
Man, we met in summer school.
Damn, why you had to say that? I was intelligent.
We was in summer school, not doing too well that year before.
Right.
And for some reason we clicked in class. And from there we would pretty much end up at one another's crib after school and started messing with the music, you know.
Yeah.
Poss and Dave weren't really known as MCs in the neighborhood back then when parties was happening. I was DJing around the neighborhood. Paul was DJing around the
Prince
neighborhood.
Paul, yeah.
Prince Paul.
Yeah. Salute to my brother Prince Paul. And then things just started to click. We started to realize we got something here. And we just kept it going. And when we finally met Paul, things started to really change. You know?
At that time in Queens, it was hard records at the time, right?
Yeah.
But you guys went the other way. So break that down of why the difference, of why the native tongue kind of stuck out.
It was just who we were, man. It's really hard to explain. We put together records based off what was in our parents' cribs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we loved the Cool G raps, the
Rakims,
the Canes, all that. We loved all of it. But, you know, it just what appealed to us. Even Mace could come from a more street background from Brooklyn. I came from the Bronx at a really young age, and moved to Long Island. But we were just using stuff in our crib. We knew Biz. Biz showed us that you can make these dope records but have fun. And that kind of just spoke to us. So this is what we did when we was putting together records, and it just was what we wanted to present.
What was the hip hop community in Long Island? Because y'all know you got the Rakims and the Public Enemies and the Biz and the De La Souls,
Buster,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
JVC Force, EPMD,
EPMD, yep.
Keith Murray.
What was the scene?
The scene was more backyard parties.
Yeah.
VFWs.
Backyard.
And,
A lot of VFWs.
And college parties.
Yeah.
A lot of college parties. Yeah. And that's pretty much how we rock. We had a spot called the Dugout around our way, and that's where everybody came and rocked. You know, you never knew who was gonna pop in there, and then all the local talent, you know, between DJs and MCs that was just trying to do their thing.
Roller skating too. Roller skating was big in Long
Roller
Island.
skating was a very big thing also, yeah.
And y'all all knew each other? Like, who all knew each other? What era was that?
We knew each other. You know, we knew who EPMD. We would see them here and there. Like, even Freddie Fox lived out around that way.
My brother Freddie Fox.
So we would see him.
Freddie Fox would beat your ass.
He
boy.
sure was. Him and his brother. The Supreme. They called themselves the Supreme Force. Me and Dave at that time was still in high school working in Burger King. We would see him whipping people all up and down the mall.
You know what I wanted to know? Do you feel like if De La Soul wasn't from Long Island, De La Soul would be a bigger group? Because I think Long Island is that one place I always feel like people just leaves Long Island out for some reason.
I don't know. I mean,
I think with hip hop, there's generically there's the struggle, and people don't realize there's a struggle out there amongst them grass and trees.
Because you think Long Island was thought from the
there's
place that when you
EBT,
get a little
Section
money,
8, and all of that out there too.
people don't see that side. They think when you get money, you move to Long Island, you made it. Because that was the thing. Like when you get money, you move to Long Island.
Yeah.
But Long Island has some dirty, dingy,
indeed,
crazy areas as well.
Corners,
my parents was from the South. You know, we lived in the Bronx for a minute. I had two older brothers. By the time me and my younger brother came around, they was like, yo, we got to get out of here. So they did the same thing. They moved us to Long Island. Respectfully, all the white people ran away, and we was there. But, there was some grimy parts of that place, you know. I mean, Wine Dance is like Baby Brooklyn. That's what it was named.
If you were from the boroughs and moved to Long Island, you had some challenges because them dudes was gonna definitely let you know you ain't who you think you are from the boroughs. We'll pop you with a shovel out here. Yeah.
And it's funny when people say things to me like, when I hear Envy say, would De La be a bigger group? Because I grew up in South Carolina. And people was bumping De La Soul crazy where I was from. People did love De La Soul.
No doubt.
You know?
I mean, we were one of those groups that were not only blessed to get this love that was bubbling in New York, but we could find, in the South, they messed with us. That first song we had called Plug Tuning, it was a little slower, so we had Houston really messing with it. And then let alone when all of a sudden they was like, y'all can go to London. Word, we can go to Amsterdam. So we was just kind of running around the world just off of this first album, and it was really a blessing,
What is the origin behind Plug 1, Plug 2, and just that concept in general?
It was the listeners. We had the song Plug Tuning, and it was just a chant. So it's just like how any rapper could jump into a verse, be like, yo, a one, a 2, and you just start saying what you say. That was just a chant. We'd be like Plug 1, Plug 2. I wasn't supposed to be Plug 1. I was just the one saying it. And Dave was saying Plug 2. So when we was walking around in clubs, people were like, yo, you Plug 1, you Plug 2, and then he just automatically became by default Plug 3. We didn't even make that up for ourselves. Yeah.
And it's also funny too when they say if you do things, you'll find your tribe. I feel like y'all found y'all tribe literally when it came to the native tongues.
Indeed, because when we first came into it, it was like being in a high school. You've already heard Nice and Smooth records, and now they're hanging with you. You already heard Audio 2's records, and now you're around them in Light. And so we all hanging around. But when we met Jungle, it was like, sit at my table. Let's do the beats on the table, us, and then they bring around Q-Tip, and it's the same thing. And then Latifah comes hang out with us. So it was just like this frequency that we just all felt like, we should really be around each other and make records.
How was recording back then with all those people that you just named? How was those studio sessions?
Man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know who's gonna pop in the studio that day and make a song. I mean, we hung out a lot, so making a song was like second nature because we were just together a lot. And then, the vibe of just wanting to play records and make records, and we were kids loving this thing, that's now called hip hop.
Yeah.
Because even when we were doing it, it wasn't called hip hop yet.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like this rap thing.
You know what I'm saying?
We're trying to do this. Trying to figure this out.
No, that's real.
And when we got the opportunity for somebody to spend their money on your dream, it was like, let's go. Yeah. And we could sample records, and it was like new toys to play with.
When y'all sample records back then, did y'all clear the records, or y'all just
put
them out?
We gave it to the record company to clear, and if they chose not to clear it,
right.
We
knew we needed to get permission. How you go about getting permission, we didn't know that, but we knew the record company was supposed to do that.
Did they do it for your records?
Some
and not so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know y'all went through everything with the lawsuit with the clearing and not clearing, and that kind of messed y'all up when things started going digital.
Yeah. Indeed.
So what was that journey like? Because you got all this great feeling, all this great music, and then the business kicks in, and it's like, whoa, wait. Like, we were kids figuring this out, but now the adult business kicks in, and it's making it where you guys kind of disappear when the streaming era started.
We missed the download era. We missed all that.
That's crazy.
Download era, streaming era at the top of it. Yeah, so, I mean, now we were putting out newer records that weren't involved with our catalog that was on, say, Tommy Boy, the first 6 records, but we had good people who was in control of this catalog at Warner Brothers, and they're trying to help us to get it right and get these samples clear. But you know how with record companies, then a new regime comes in and everyone leaves, and now you got to start over again. And that's where it really became an ordeal, where it just took too long. Leor Cohen was up there, and he was our former manager.
He was trying to help us
out, but then he left.
And he left.
Yeah, so.
And then Tom Silverman tried to come back.
Yeah, and he got the catalog back.
And that's when things started between us and him, because he offered a deal that wasn't really cool.
How does the label end up with a 10-90 split? How does the label get 90? Because I'm thinking, like, back then there was no screaming, so it's not like y'all signed something like that. So how did they just end up with a 10-90 split?
I don't know, man. Usually us, the artists, just like sometimes us, the people, whatever we're being introduced to, it's already been figured out. They give it to you. And I think it's the same way. It's like they already know where they're going. They already know that this streaming thing is coming before we even know it's coming. And I just think it has a lot to do with
And
that.
back then, you was getting paid on like 12 or maybe 18 songs, you know? And it would be like a 12% to 18% royalty anyway. Back then, that was kind of standard, you know? But what we didn't know is those admin fees is what can make it 10% when you're paying that admin fee on the back.
That's what, administration? What's that?
Yeah, the administration fee. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you see the younger generation finding new De La Soul? So Nyla, who's our young OG over here, we did this. We do this segment called Pass the Aux, and I think the first, maybe the first or second one, she came in there and she was like, "I got a De La Soul record," and we like. De La Soul is new, and she played a classic, but it just had joined the stream in it, and she's a native tongue fan.
She played a song off Cabin in the Sky today.
Yeah, today. Wow. So how does it feel when the young generation hears of that? Because it's almost like a recreation.
It's beautiful, man. It's amazing. Like even right before the catalog came out, Marvel had came to us and like, yo, we want to put one of your older songs in the Spider-Man movie. We was like, yo, that'd be amazing. So it was a big thing where at the end of the movie, when the 3 Spider-Mans come together, they play Three's the Magic Number. And everyone pulls out their phone, your young kids trying to Shazam it, and they still couldn't find it because it wasn't up yet.
Wow.
So it's just amazing, like how even all of us living in our homes and listening to like a Gladys Knight record, and your parents would be like, "What do you know about this?" But you was around them, you're hearing it, and it speaks to you, and it's just great to see something that we did in '89 is speaking to someone right now. Is the words for it.
If De La started in 2025, what would native tongues look like today? Like, who are the artists you'd call family?
Who would we call family? I mean, I would immediately think like, Odd Future, them dudes, Tyler the Creator, those Earl Sweatshirt, Anderson .Paak, like those dudes are us. Like, we would be hanging around, running around, bugging out.
NX Worries crew.
Everything Kendrick too.
Kendrick, indeed.
Kendrick.
Indeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed.
Who you see now?
Rhapsody,
yes.
Oh, Rhapsody,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
Everyday
rap.
man type rap. Cole.
Cole,
That's-
Yeah.
I mean, half of the rappers that are out right now.
Ruben Vincent.
Yes.
Definitely Ruben.
Yeah.
But
No
I am
doubt.
curious about just like aesthetically the world that you guys built, the bright colors, the flowers. Who inspired that?
It honestly, we were just doing music. When it came time to promote the music, the record label was like, look, man, everything y'all making, it's not like what anyone else is doing. And it reminds us of this era, like Woodstock and hippie. Would y'all be down to try these covers? Mace wasn't really with it.
Nah, I wasn't really with it. But I learned to appreciate it over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when as he said, we appreciate the fact that when you put this cover next to like NWA's cover or Rakim's cover, it stood out and it made someone pick it up. And we start learning how people would tell us like, yo, like it was because of you I learned about Rakim because I saw this cover. It seemed like it was safe. And we started listening to it, but we got into hip hop and realized all hip hop is what it is. Like, what's the difference between hip hop and a gangster movie? It's like, it ain't really real. You know what I'm saying?
So crazy, just because I'm thinking back of the influence that you guys had. I remember back then we didn't care about gold jewelry. I wanted my African pendant, and we wanted it from Jamaica Avenue. It had to look a certain way. It had to be a certain way because De La Soul wore it. Which
He's
is
Dominican.
Imagine, I was about to
They
say,
wanted to wear an
imagine me with an
African
African pendant. You'd be
That's
like, are you
crazy.
lost? Are you displaced?
That's wild.
I am not Dominican.
That's wild when you think about it.
I am not
That's
Dominican.
influence that
Y'all
y'all
are
have.
so
from
Y'all
Europe.
imagine him
I
trying
mean,
to have
but
an
you know,
afro with a
I'm not
pendant.
I'm saying, yo,
I'm not
the
Dominican. I'm sorry.
Dominicans,
We
our
watch
Dominican
Seinfeld
Haitian
for
brothers,
He
we
be
go
at that
back.
parade with all them colors with that African pendant on, just confused.
Yo, if you see some of my old pictures, I didn't have cross colors with the African. Like it
There
was
you go.
crazy back then. New York was crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's fire.
Do you think the industry ever fully understood how radical and rebellious what y'all was doing actually was when y'all first introduced it?
I'm being
I
honest.
think so.
Well, I don't know if we really understood it.
Nah.
I'm being honest. We was just because just to even go back to what you were saying, B, don't get it. Do not miss the fact that we want to go change because we want to be like Rock. We want to be like Eric B.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
we had
You
our
know what I'm
moment.
saying?
Yeah, we had our moment.
You know, we had the Busy Bee compartment more when me and Dave had our chains on
I
layaway.
had gold fronts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we still just had this way about us. They're no different than how I would go see his family in Brooklyn, and like, yo, you could have someone who stood out, or like Old Dirty Bastard's brother who was like a punk rocker from Brooklyn. Like, you just had these people who was just like different, but still from a circumstance of images that you still love. I love Dapper Dan. I would have loved to have a Dapper Dan suit. I couldn't afford that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let me just stick to this pendant because it's easier to rock than a gold chain. You know what I mean?
How close were y'all to Tribe? Because I feel like Tribe had so much influence, got so much from you guys. How close were y'all to them?
Those was our brother, like, you know, and just for me, like Africa and Q-Tip, like we were like inseparable at one point. We was like the Three Stooges running around. Like, love those brothers. We got on each other's nerves as brothers should do. We loved each other, and we love each other to this day.
Yeah, we still locked in.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we all
so I mean,
locked in.
hanging out with them, hanging out at Q-Tip's house. His mother's making us food. His older sister is friends with Sweet Tea, who was down with Herbie Love Bug, and I'm like, yo, Sweet Tea, and I'm in love with Sweet Tea, and she's at his house. Like, we always hung out together, and we just created music, and I learned from them. They learned from us. Like, Tip is younger than us, but I call him like my little big brother because he's so wise beyond his years, you know.
You know, we had Knife Wonder up here, and Knife Wonder was talking about
I saw it, he fronted on Daylight. He was saying how much he loved. I saw that.
And so that's what I said. I'm like, you got the clip?
I love Knife. I love him.
We got the clip? I want to hear the clip.
I was going to send him
I
down.
brought
Like,
y'all up. Let me hear the clip. Who break down the Q-Tip family tree?
Oh, man. So the Q-Tip family tree, Q-Tip was one of the first ones to not sample funk and soul only, right? Q-Tip was one of the ones like, oh, I'm a sample an artist by the name of Cal Jader, and I'm a sample an artist by the name of Les McCann and Freddie Hubbard. Because Q-Tip grew up in a neighborhood of jazz musicians.
You got the jazz.
Exactly. And so that euphoric feel, like I always say, Bonita Applebum is like the tree of life for everything after it. So if Bonita Applebum is not made, we're not getting, well, first of all, with our Tribe, we're not getting Outkast.
Facts.
Right? They said it. They said it all the time. We're not getting Outkast. We're not getting The Roots. We're not getting Badu. We're not getting Jill. We're not getting Little Brother. We're not getting D'Angelo. We're not getting this thing called Neo Soul. We're not getting
Kanye West.
We're not getting Kanye West.
Kanye.
We're not getting anything that feels euphoric and feels good. We're not getting that because chord changes wasn't in hip hop in 89, 88. We was just talking about Public Enemy. It was just, you know what I'm saying, what Night Living Bass is. But Q-Tip, when he sampled those chord changes and all of that, that's what made everybody turn the corner. And we owe a lot to that dude for making that turn and making the music that he did. Well, making the music that Tribe did.
So why? I agree with you, but damn, where did De La come into play then?
So De La was, of course, De La was before that, and Jungle Brothers before that. You know, Native Tongues movement. Also, Queen Latifah was in that box. You know what I mean? Tribe was more. It was a different thing from De La. De La was way left to center, right? You know what I mean?
So I think Tribe, and this is gonna sound crazy because De La was from Long Island and
More street. Tribe was.
Tribe was more street.
Mine was street.
Because remember, Tribe is really, they're from farmers.
They're from
you know what I
Queen,
mean?
yeah, Linden Boulevard.
Like you go up a little bit, that's LL Cool J's area. You go to
Exactly.
the left a little bit, that's
Right.
50 Cent in them. So they were more street than De La, I would say.
And you noticed it because when De La and Tribe kind of dressed the same on their first, on 3 feet, and People's Instinctive, they dressed the same. By the time Tribe did Low End Theory, it's baseball jerseys and hats, bro.
Facts.
Like they totally just changed everything.
But I don't feel like you get any of that without 3 Feet High and Rising.
no, you don't. I mean, but I would say like we were definitely like-minded and we were like in kinship together when it came to creativity. And like you have De La being De La, and you can have Jive Records like, yo, these Tommy Boy dudes, they won with this. They won with De La. Like, let me find my De La. And like
That's Tribe.
Tribe was theirs, but we even knew that Tribe ain't De La. Tribe got this thing that like Tip was coming up with stuff like, I was like, yo, how is he doing this? How is he coming up with all
And
this?
the jazz influence. And
Yeah, it was crazy
music
with him.
was way deeper than where we were going.
Yeah.
Because we were actually messing with a whole lot more pop culture of a different period.
Yeah.
You know?
We would sample Peg, from Steely Dan and make a record. Like Tip was just going elsewhere with it. So I get it, man. I understand where certain things and frequencies that Tip or Tribe was on that the brothers related to, but a lot of the brothers related to us as well. And even with De La So Is Dead, our second album, we left all that psychedelic stuff to the side as well. It just was so iconic. People didn't want to let it go. I mean, our second album was called De La Soul Is Dead because we were saying we was getting off the hippie
Just
stuff.
killing off the image.
Yeah, the image.
The image that was drowning the music.
Yeah.
The Daisy always meant, it was an acronym. It meant the inner sound, y'all.
Yeah, DA was the
I as inner, S as sound, Y as y'all.
Yeah.
So it just, the images just took it elsewhere, obviously for the record company to try to sell some records. And I can't front on the art department listening to the music and making this cover because this is their interpretation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So over time, I began to appreciate what the effect it had on everyone. You know what I mean?
I still don't think you don't get tried without De La. So of
course,
I understand the Q-Tip family tree thing, but De La to me sparked all of that.
Well, and to speak to Tribe, in Tribe's defense, they had a lot of success.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so when we talking industry standards, they sold a lot of records, man. You know, they had some joints, man.
Joints,
where I could say maybe we had good albums, but they had good albums and joints. That was just hitting the airwaves crazy.
I still think it's part of the Long Island thing where people slept on a lot of Long Island artists, whether it was Rakim. I think Rakim's a huge artist, but I think Rakim would have been big if he was from the boroughs. I think same thing with EPMD. I think the same thing with, Keith Murray was there, but I just think people sleep on Long Island so much.
Well, Rakim gets mentioned as the god, like he's number one on some people's list.
On some people's list, but I think it would be even bigger if he was from one of the boroughs. I just think people sleep on Long Island. That's what I really feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Do y'all feel like Rakim was always mentioned as one of the gods?
Because
He was the god.
He
was the god.
Generationally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I hear people talking about it more now.
No.
Nah, the
was
God
that one.
Yeah, he
God
was that
I
one. He was the one for even Kendrick to say it. Like he's
but those
that
are
one.
music.
Eminem,
When I say
everybody.
that, I guess I mean like transcending outside, like you said, like an industry success. Like I feel like sometimes when we have these conversations, it's like two different groups of people you talking about. You got people that are heavily intertwined in music and hip hop and culture, and then you have everybody else that just like sees it from a celebrity aspect. I feel like the world now is giving Rakim what he should have
Rakim
gotten.
was the one
always
back
got
then.
his flowers.
I remember where I wasn't. I heard paid in full.
But you're different. You sit here at the Breakfast Club, but like a regular person who's just reading like a complex.com, a person who's on TikTok, a younger kid, now they're talking about the Rakims.
Rakim changed the way people rap. Like I remember it was like because my sisters was listening to like Salt and Pepper and there was Kid and Play and all, but you heard Rakim, you was like, what is that? Like,
I have two questions. I just want to get it off my brain before I forget. Well, one's kind of like a comment, but have you ever seen that clip of Aaliyah saying how she has a crush on you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty iconic.
My wife's seen it too. She hates it.
Oh, all right, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It is iconic though.
now you got to play that every now and then. Keep the wife on the toes.
You know what?
Don't listen to Charlamagne, get yourself in trouble.
No, but what was crazy is that we've met her throughout the years, and she was such a lovely, beautiful soul. And I one of the most amazing memories of her is we did like a Christmas party. I want to say it was for like
I just
BET.
spoke about that the other day.
And her and Missy was at the front of the stage while we're performing. They're trying to pull and untie our sneakers. We like, yo, what are you doing? Like, she was such a fun, lovely queen. So I mean, like, it's just amazing to hear that. Yeah.
What's your other question?
And my other question was, because you guys are talking about Tribe, and I know you guys did collaborate with Q-Tip on this. Did you guys produce kind of like old times? Like, was it like, let's recreate the feeling that we had back then? Or
No, it's a feeling we just keep with each other. It's just like that. If if Jay comes to do something in Memphis, it's just a synergy they got that you're gonna be like, I hear it there, and that's what we are. Like me, him, and Q-Tip is in a chat every other day, being
Talking.
silly and bugging out and sending records, and
I got
Tip
a
like,
whole
nah,
new
I got
playlist
this record
because of
for you. Nah, Tip, you got to do this. So we always together. Nix was killing it at that point. He wanted to come to the studio and hear what we was doing. He wasn't supposed to be on the record. He just came through just to listen, and he got caught up on this one song I played, and he's rhyming. I'm like, yo, and he was like, yo, I want to get on this, and that's how this happened. Yeah.
now
Go ahead.
in this group chat that you guys have, are you guys talking about like the headlines that are coming out, like hip hop is dead, rap hasn't been on Billboard, X, Y, and Z. Like,
Nah, it's just music. We just send music.
That's stupid shit.
Yeah. Oh, don't curse me.
Yeah, because we wanted to know. We were talking about that before y'all came in about how all those conversations be happening, but like there's so much actually happening for real. But those headlines are just like noise.
Yo, we love music. We have the right, as all of us, to have our opinion about it. And I mean, all of you, man, y'all are staples, and you have the right to be like, yo, I think this is not it and whatever. But we had the benefit of coming out and having our gods say to us, like, look, De La, your show is whack. You need to do this. You need to do that. And they did it out of love. You know, we didn't have these platforms where they got to go to like Right On Magazine and something and be like, you know, that's De La Soul. They got a horrible show. So that's what I don't like. I don't like coming up here and talking bad about someone when I can turn around and talk to them and out of love, show them love and be like, yo, man, I love what you're doing, but maybe you should try to do this or do that. And I think that's more what we need to be with
the criticism is constructive and not hurting nobody.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, we all have feelings. We have egos, and you know. So I mean, like, be more constructive, as May said.
Was there ever a time where y'all felt pressure to modernize your sound, or y'all just operate outside of that?
Nah, we always outside. I mean, think about it, Charlamagne. We had us. You know, you had Tribe with Midnight Marauders. You had Wu-Tang with 36 Chambers, and we come with this calm record called Balloon Mind State. We always was just riding our own path. Like, we loved all that. We could do all that. We could get up next to the illest dude and rhyme the way we needed to rhyme. But that was the journey at that point. You know what I'm saying? And we you know, like, we didn't apologize for any of it. We just did what we did creatively.
The least successful album. You know, and fast forward to today, people go, yo, Balloon Mind State, I get it now.
Yeah, now that they older.
Maybe something you had to grow into, probably, you know? So, I mean, music just has a weird place where people, you may not get it now, but you'll get it later, you know?
I want to talk about the iconic song Buddy, right? When it first came out, everybody thought it was a sexual song when it first came out, right?
It is. Kind of, sort of.
So explain Buddy and how it came about, because it was banned from a lot of places. Places didn't want to play it. They felt this way about it. So explain where the concept came from.
Jungle Brothers first had a song called Jimbrowski. You know, and that was talking about, you know, the male's anatomy. And then we came with a song called Jennifer, and I was just talking about a girl. And so we just was saying, like, yo, if we have
Jenny meet Jenny, they become buddies.
So, I mean, that's really what it was in the most playful sense.
Gotcha.
You know, so definitely.
I also want to know, with all these collabs that Nike does, right? Because you see the De La Soul dunks and the De La Soul kicks. Do y'all get paid for that? Do they get permission before they do it, or do they?
No, they definitely got permission.
Okay.
The first run,
we didn't get paid for.
Nah, because that's how the first run with SB, obviously, that's how it was. It was like a few amount be put out.
Niggas was going for like 20 grand at one time.
And then they'll just flood you with like a locker room of sneakers. Like, here, take that. But I mean, the second time around when they released it, they gave us some money for it. But
you know, they say on the idea of the limited edition and all of that, and
it keeps the name alive.
Without question, without question.
And it's cool to do the first time around. But when we talking about repeating it, then we need to
get some bread,
talk some money.
Yeah.
You know, De La albums, man, they always feel like worlds. So when you're creating now, when you created Cabins in the Sky, what world are you building? Like, what's the emotion that was driving?
The main thing is for our partner who's no longer here, Dave. It was like, Cabin in the Sky was for him. You know, I mean, it's still the normal muscle memory of trying to make a beautiful, great album that has good lyrics, good sound, good themes, as De La has always done, but it was him. And I jokingly say this, like, you know, and I hope I'm not, you know, saying stuff that people don't know, but it's this old movie Outsiders. Matt Dillon is a scene where, like, he's like, they about to have this big fight with that gang, the Socials, and they be like, yo, we got to do this for Johnny. Like, that's how I feel like we got to do this for Dave. Wow. Like, it was really big that we represent him and show his energy on this entire album. The project is for him, you know, and for us, and it's therapeutic for us to do.
Therapeutic for me.
You know, like, the album is basically like, we're doing this album with him rhyming from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this is, Cabin in the Sky.
Has there been moments, you said it was therapeutic, has there been moments where you guys had to kind of like step away and just kind of deal with whatever feelings were brought back up by getting back in this?
I step right into it. You never know when grief gonna hit you. If I gotta cry in the moment, I cry in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the biggest things is just handling the responsibility of carrying my man's legacy. You know, we got the blessing from his family, all the friends we grew up with, you know what I mean? So at this point, yeah, it's more of a responsibility to keep going. And we had plans. So it's just carrying out the plan, really.
How do you honor Dave's spirit creatively without trying to imitate or recreate what he did?
Well, nothing that we used of him was like manipulated, in a sense. Like whatever song you hear Dave on, that was a song that he was on. We didn't grab his vocal and put it on something that he wasn't, his energy and what he felt to write to, because that's how Dave was. He wrote in a moment, like, and if he didn't like it, it was gone. Like he didn't want to co-sign it. So it's music that he was actually on, and there's music on this album that he actually produced. So like his intent, his energy is throughout the album, and it's organically him and it's authentically him.
Yeah.
You know,
when you hear the album, the sequence, it sounds like he's working on a record from heaven.
Yeah.
It really sounds like that.
When you step on stage now, does performing, you know, the older catalog feel different emotionally?
It can. I mean, it took a minute to get used to. It'd be those moments where, you know, I say something, Dave was supposed to come in, and then I would be ready to jump in ad-lib mode. And then I'm saying something, and all of a sudden I'm waiting for him to jump in, like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I got to jump in because I got to say the rhyme. So it took us a moment to get that, but we got it down pat because we stay moving. We stay always doing shows. So, yeah, it took a moment for us to get it, but we already there with it. Yeah.
What's something about Dave as a man, not just an artist, that you want fans to remember forever?
Wow.
Man.
Wow. A man.
Hey, man, he lived a full life, man. If anybody did it their way, he did.
Definitely.
He unapologetically his way.
Yeah.
You know, when I sit down with the homies and we talk about it, like the ones that aren't a part of this music thing we grew up with, and they're like, yo, man, just know that, yo, man, he did everything the way he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So don't fret.
Yeah.
They've lived a full life.
A full life. Yeah, Dave Chappelle kicked that to us as well. Like, he was like, yo, man, Dave lived a life that was so dense because he lived like 3-4 lifetimes. What he got to see, who he got to influence and help. And it's the truth. I mean, like, he had a life that for him to not, we all have, I would feel, I know I do, I have people that is no longer here. And you kind of feel sad that they didn't get to do certain things that they wanted to do, or they didn't get to make the mark they wanted to make, or change their ways. And Dave lived an amazing life and did so much and evolved as a man, as a father. He did so much for his life.
Dave's son played in the league, right? Did his son play football in the league, I thought?
Oh, my son.
No,
played.
his son.
My son
Yeah.
played.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But Dave had the bird's eye view of our whole thing. You know, where I can be on the ground and in the street with it. Pops is on the where he at with it, but Dave is up here. You know, always kind of looking at things from a real quirky perspective.
Yeah.
He brought the real different edge of who we are, like that real quirky edge.
You mentioned Dave Chappelle. What was the connection between Chappelle and De La? Because I know y'all did the show back in the day, but the one time I think I met Dave was at a Dave Chappelle show, but it was in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was he all the way in South Carolina? It was like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, my family's from Florence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got a family in Florence.
Yeah.
Got you.
Now, we've known Dave Chappelle for the longest. We did some show in Ohio. I'm talking about a long time ago. Some college joint we did, and he was there. I think his pops was a teacher there, and so he was at the show, and we became this cool ever since. This is before Dave even really blew up. So we was just always around Dave Chappelle, and so when he got to where he was and wanted us on the show, and anything he needed us for, we was there for it. Yeah.
When you look at the landscape of hip hop today, what piece of the original De La philosophy do you feel the coaching needs the most right now?
I mean, balance, just for me. And I don't know if I can really say that. I feel like
the balance is there. It's the platforms that need to present the balance.
Yeah. But
Stand on that.
Yeah. Well, for some time, it started to look like the industry is only supporting one side of hip hop, and it tends to come off to be a little genocidal.
Yep.
Because we got way more variety in our culture. Here it is. Everybody's art is real. Everybody's story is real.
Right.
But the industry can misconstrue the story and tell a really glorify a story that people aren't really glorifying.
Yeah.
They're just telling their story. Some of it's from a fun perspective, but some of it's from a very real perspective, letting you know, like, don't do this. But there's a perception in marketing that don't really lend to that. There's always just no real variety, period. You got one flavor all the time.
But see, I push back on that a little bit because I just feel like my thing is that there's just too much music. Yeah. With us, and we come from an era where you tried it in your crib. If people thought you was dope, you worked, you maybe scrambled on the street, you made your money, you went to the studio. You can make music from your laptop. Zoom is up. And I just think that so much music, and it's good music out, but there's so many places to get it from that it's understandable that this one place only does it this way. But if you go to maybe SoundCloud, they do it this way. But then if you go, the listener has to almost transition into a person that can listen to music in different places. Right. And if they don't, they live in their own echo chamber.
Yeah. But the echo chamber is just what's being programmed, which is the popular thing that you're saying, which can be yeah. But is there anything that you guys experience firsthand that you feel like the new generation of MCs or just like hip hop fans in general should study?
You're going to learn it when you learn it. You can't make anyone learn anything they don't want to learn. And that's why I just say that when knowledge or whatever comes towards you, if it's given to you in a humble way, you'll listen. When someone's trying to force something down your throat, you're not going to eat it. So, I mean, that's how I always try to approach people. And I think young dudes...
I got to pause you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to pause. It's such a great point, but that was so egregious. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother. I looked at me. I didn't mean to. Because it looked at me like, are you just going to really... That was egregious. I'm so sorry. I can't...
Damn, I got it.
That was pretty egregious. I didn't want to interrupt such a profound thought. I did not want to interrupt such a profound thought, but that was just very egregious.
It was. Sorry.
My apologies, gentlemen.
Too much up here to it.
No. I know the jokes. I watch this every day.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
But back to your point.
If you can get back to it.
Fix them in your throat. Pause. Go.
Oh
No.
Gosh.
I'm done. On you, Macy.
But somebody in the chat had a good point. They said that they feel like it's too much noise, not enough true art.
I mean,
that is true.
Because as a DJ, we always want music. It's just with what the internet has become, we got a lot of whack stuff because people are able to just go ahead and put their music out.
But we always had whack stuff.
Well, but a lot of it didn't get through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think there is a lot of
noise.
I think there is a lot of noise because I think we are artists that know and feel that we have to say, yo, check out what I'm doing, because it goes back to what I'm saying. There's so many artists that's putting out so much music. Why should I look at you? Well, maybe you should look at me because not only my music is good, but when I show you what I'm doing in my house and how I'm bugging out with my wife or my girlfriend or my boys. So it's like a whole new thing. It's more than just music. Music is almost disposable. It's the person that they're looking at. So, I mean, it's just like I watched your show and I agree with you. Like, yo, JID, like, where was his rollout? Like, you want to hear him. You want to see him because the music was amazing. I needed to have now people seeing what he's doing. And then everyone's talking about how Clip's rollout was, but Clip was just doing what we come from doing, which is just a rollout.
But you know what, too? I think somewhat, too, the fans have gotten so used to just being okay with how things are now. Because when he said that about JID, people were like, y'all crazy, there was a rollout. And I was like, if you're in a certain world or audience, you saw it. But as big as it should have been, there wasn't. But so that might be a part of like, it's not even that the bar is in hell. It's just people have gotten used to this is all we get, this is all we know. So they're praising things that are normal, and then when you do things that are under the norm, it's like
but it has to be an artist as well, though. Too, the artist has to want it as much as anybody else, right? You know, see, Clips comes from a place where they had to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because there was no internet. They had to go to every radio station. They had to go to every mom and pop store. They had to go to every college radio because that was the only outlets.
Yeah.
Like you look at Jid, who we love Jid, but he might not have wanted it as much as Clips. And it's harder to say that an artist wanted when they're getting that much money so fast. You know what I mean? But think about it.
In his defense, you know, he's probably missing that coaching element of artist development.
Yeah.
Because of how it changed so much, and you could easily put your music out from your house.
Correct.
So artists, you know, Jordan didn't win no game without Phil Jackson. Every great player needed a coach. I feel like that's how it is with artists. You know, look at the success of everybody that was under Dre.
Right.
Can we not deny that Dre is a great coach?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because of the success. And there was artist development that went with all of that. That right now we're looking at a lot of raw talent that could use just some development, you know? And it comes from the people who come before them.
Absolutely.
That's where the criticism need to be a little more constructive and not bashing, you know? And then when you got somebody who making a lot of money, he going like, how can you tell me to do what's necessary when I'm getting it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think there's a word that has a negative stigma, but you kind of need it. There should be some level of gatekeeping, but
Yes.
the keepers of the gate have to be pure in their intentions and their
Correct.
motive. They can't be influenced by, you know, somebody paying them to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Or biased to certain regions. It just got to be, is this dope or not?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, intrigue.
I think that's missing.
And
No,
for the
that-
ones
it
that's
is.
really getting it, I really say to them, yo, man, you want to be 50 doing this.
Right.
Word,
Yeah.
word.
But
I
you're
may
right.
not could show you much about getting that paper because the times have definitely changed, but I think I could show you something about longevity.
Word.
But there's a lot of artists that say, I don't want to do radio. A lot of artists, I'm not doing a podcast. I'm not doing, like artists decide, now I'm not doing it because they don't want to. You know what I mean? And they get what they get. But the artists that go all out and they do what they have to do, you see it with the success, whether it's a Cardi B or it is a Clips. Like you see, and you can see the difference.
Man, I just know that we definitely benefited as a group, not only being able to come up to a place we were born, New York, and run around, but we run around to this day in the UK, in France, in whatever you want to call it, Dubai, Japan, Australia.
yeah.
We
Croatia.
do press. Like, so we understand what it is to touch someone and even have that person be like, yo, man, I ain't really mess with them, but you know what? They're nice guys. Let me listen. And the next thing you know, you've now planted a seed for someone to appreciate what you do. And, you know, like you just said, if someone feel like they're getting what they're getting, then why do all this? But you just don't know who you will touch, and that'll lend to your longevity. You know,
And you don't know when it stops. You don't know when it stops. Because I always say this, a lot of artists get a benefit of the doubt because of who they are, right? I always look at, and I hate to bring this up, I always look at 50 and Ja Rule, right? When Ja Rule came out and Salute to Ja, he never did as much as he was supposed to because Irv did everything for him. So when he got into the beef with Ja, there was no personal relationship. When 50 got into the beef with Ja, there was no personal relationship. Now 50, on the other hand, went to every DJ's house, went to every radio show, did the smaller DJ's shows, the bigger DJ's show. So you lean towards 50 Cent more because you know him more.
yeah.
I'm from Queens and I didn't meet Ja until the Breakfast Club, which is crazy. And we're from the same area. We joke about it now and he understands it now, but that's part of it. Like 50 did what he was supposed to do, and he still has those relationships with these DJs to this day.
Facts.
That's
You know,
facts.
and y'all got a song on the new album called The Package. And you say trendsetters know when to bail from the trend they started.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's what we did exactly from 3 Feet High and Rising. We didn't try to make a trend, but when it became a trend, that was cool. But we was off to what we needed to do on the second album, De La Soul Is Dead. You start something, but you don't start it to make it for something for everyone else to do. And if they latch onto it, that's how the camaraderie, that's how the love for what you presented but we on to the next, and that's how we've always been as a group, just always on to the next to try something else. And it may work, it may not work, but we always saw ourselves
knowing for a fact that we can't recreate what we did before.
Yeah, like it wasn't going to be
not
no
even
3
have
Feet
an
High and
interest
Rising
in trying
Part
to
2.
recreate
Like,
what we did before.
nah, at all. You know,
There's no way I could capture being 14, 15, 16 when we were actually coming up with those ideas.
Right.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's very important. That's how I
insane
feel.
to think about 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Like,
You sitting on ideas that once you get on, you can put all these ideas you've had all that time into this one project. Now, once you put out a project, you're running around on the road, you're doing whatever, and now those experiences maybe going to the next project. So let alone when you get to this place where now you got to put out projects every month, you may hear like it's like redundant creativity. It's like, what is this? It's like you're not allowing yourself a chance to grow and have different experiences. But definitely as trendsetters, man, you have to be able to know, like, all right, it's time to put this to the side. Let me go someplace else.
right.
Wow. Well, we appreciate
I got
you
one
brothers.
last question. When history books talk about De La Soul 50 years from now, what's the sentence you hope is written?
We did it our way, man. We had fun with it, and
3 black men who stuck together.
done.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you so much. De La Soul, ladies
Thank
and
you,
gentlemen.
bro.
The new
Thank y'all for
album,
having us.
Cabins in the Sky, comes out on the 21st.
The chat
Yeah.
loves y'all, by the way, our Twitch.
Yeah. And I texted Ninth, and he wanted to tell me. I mean, to
Nah,
tell you guys-
get out. No,
No,
stop.
he said thank you for letting him be a part of y'all tree.
Oh, we love
Ah,
Knife,
man, I
That's
love
our
you,
brother.
Knife. I love
We
Little
love
Brothers,
Knife.
man.
Yeah.
All of them, for real.
Yeah, I love
That's
those
what it is.
brothers.
It's the Breakfast Club. It's De La Soul.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?